and was like, at first was just hesitant. He was like, I don't even know what I want to do with this. It's so good. It's just you. And then I went back to the house that night after the studio. I recorded Fairy Tale Dreams Nightmares. Went back to the studio, and then he heard it and he's like, I gotta jump on this right now. Jumped on it then, and then a day after that he got on Nightmares. When I first met Makonnen, he was the biggest artist, I swear. Like, that was like prime Tuesday, Drake,
oh my gosh,
all that time.
And you just met him going out? And
just met him literally at a club or something, and then we went back to the studio and we were partying and stuff, and I didn't even make music at that time. He was with like Kerwin and Ass Pizza, Jonah and all those people in New York, and when we met, he's like, Smoke, I want you to do a project with Teddy. So that right off the back was like, I was so hyped on it. And I know Smoke, after the fact, when we actually came to making a Casino, like the project we did together, he was on some like, the only reason I'm doing this besides me fucking with you, obviously, is because Pete really wanted this, you know? So I think having that in the back of our heads making it was super special.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here with Teddy.
What's up? How are you doing?
Great. So where were you originally born?
I was born in New York City.
Okay.
Yup.
But originally were you Swedish or?
Yeah, my mom's Swedish. Spent a lot of time there growing up, but was born in New York. But I am a dual citizen, so you know, I can always go to that country if I need to flee.
How about your dad?
He's from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, real New Yorker.
And you still have a ton of family in Sweden, or I mean, at least your uncle.
Yeah, my uncle, and pretty much honestly all my living family is in Sweden. My dad's super old, so all his family's long past. But besides that, yeah, all my family's definitely over there.
And do you have a strong like Swedish culture growing up, or?
I mean, it was like the main language we spoke at home.
Oh wow.
It was like my first language, but then I made an American transition into the reality of this world, and Swedish won't get you too far in America, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So had to switch over.
How would you describe your personality back then growing up?
My personality?
Yeah.
Carefree, you know, wasn't even thinking because I was so young, and it wasn't even the day of the social media, you know, it's changed everything. So back then I would just live life like a normal little Swedish baby.
And what careers were your parents in?
Oh, my dad worked in insurance. My mom was a model.
Oh, okay.
She was younger. And then a professional mother. Was, yeah.
Where do you think you got your creative side from?
Probably a mix of both of them though. My dad's a creative in a business sense, you know?
Yeah.
And my mom's has more of the creative, you know, music and all that from her side of the family, but the balance of both of them.
What kind of music was played in the house?
Probably some classic rock, a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, a lot of Green Day, a lot of Citizen Cope.
That's what they were playing or you were playing?
Oh, that's what like they were playing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Do you remember what was the first album you bought?
The first album I bought was my uncle's album, Bombshell Rocks.
Really?
Conclusion, yeah, literally. First album I bought. It was at his show, I don't know where, somewhere in New York. He was opening for Blink-182.
That's crazy.
And I bought a copy of his album there.
And then was he the kind of the early inspiration that you had, that you knew that you could make music your career?
Definitely. And when I was in the mental stage of figuring out what I wanted to do, he was definitely a person that always promoted me following my dreams and doing whatever I felt was right. So.
Is this band really big in Sweden?
It was, and it still is like a name, you know what I mean, when it comes to like, it's pretty heavy punk music, so like obviously to people who are into punk and like Millencolin and all that stuff, they definitely made a name for themselves.
Yeah. Do you have a Swedish fan base now? Like, do they know that you guys are related then?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's directly because of that, but I definitely over time accumulated a pretty good fan base out there. I think also knowing that I am half Swedish, you know what I mean, helps that.
Yeah.
But definitely. And I'm looking forward to going out there and playing shows and shit.
Yeah, it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Were you into school at all?
School?
Yeah.
No. I'm like the least classroom acclimated person you've ever met. So I just can't function in school.
What were you doing in your free time then?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say what I was doing. No, just chilling, hanging out with friends.
But what were you trying to do, or like learning how to do music back then already?
No, not even. That was after I graduated from high school and I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, were your parents so worried then if you like didn't do well in school and you didn't know what to do?
I think, and this is something they've always told me, is that they just trusted whatever I would do and whenever it came that it would be natural, and they gave me full trust in that, so it wasn't even a matter of being worried of what. They always knew I'd figure it out, you know?
And what happened after high school? I guess you didn't want to go to college at all.
Well, I did actually go to college for 3 days.
Where?
I went to the new school in New York City.
That's a good school.
It is a good school, and I worked as hard as I could to go there, but then when I got there I realized yet again that school wasn't for me.
I thought you didn't do so well in school.
No, I didn't do well in school, but
you worked hard.
I had to get those D's to like C minuses, and then once I got those C minuses, I was accomplished.
What was the major that you were gonna do at the new school?
Oh, I had no clue. I was doing like liberal arts or some shit because I didn't know anything. No direction.
And then what happened after you dropped out?
Then I was like, I told my parents, I was like, just give me a year. Let me figure something out. Because this school is not working out and it's making me unhappy. So they were blessed me enough to give me a year, and in that year I figured out I wanted to make music, and one thing led to another. Started dropping stuff on SoundCloud, and then started working a little bit, so I just ran with it.
And then did you move back in with your parents, or how were you living?
Yeah, I was living in my parents until I moved out here.
Oh wow.
Which was like officially, I was living on my friend's couch for a while, for like a year. And then I just got my own place like a couple months ago, so now I live alone. Yeah. Which is a very, very amazing thing.
And what was the kind of music you made early on? Like, what did it sound like?
It sounded like, it was more like hip hop stuff. But that's not even because of what I want. I just didn't even know how to make anything, you know? So finding my sound is such a long process that I'm still in. Yeah. But it definitely early on was super just scattered and all over the place.
How did you go from the rock to the hip hop music?
Or the hip hop to the rock?
Or like, cause your parents were playing more rock, right?
Yeah, based on what all my friends were listening to, you know. And like when I was got into music more so as like a teenager, it was more like hip hop and stuff like that. So it was
like which artists?
Like Travis Scott, stuff like that, you know.
So like newer.
Yeah, like new stuff.
And then did you realize like you had a voice?
Not even. That took a lot of time. That was just like, it literally started from just playing around, messing around at a studio with friends, and one thing led to another. Stuff started to sound somewhat good. Yeah. And then
how did you get into the studio?
The first time was literally because we had nowhere to smoke weed. So we were like, listen, all these people just smoke weed in studios. So we were like, listen, we found some random studio in the South Bronx. Went there and just, you know, had fun, and one thing led to another, and I ended up going back the next night and the next night and the next night. And then, yeah.
And what was the themes or inspiration for your early songs that you made back then?
Kind of just like surroundings, you know. Even to this day, like I don't really write music, so everything's really just based off the vibe and where I am mentally at that time. And the people around me and the energy. So.
And how did Lil Peep find you initially?
Through Makonnen.
Oh.
Yeah, so the first day they linked up to start working on the Peep Makonnen project. I was with Makonnen, we were living together.
Oh, how did you meet Makonnen early? Like
early? Like yeah. I met Makonnen in 2015 before I even made music.
Oh wow.
Just in New York, like being around partying and stuff. And it's crazy because later on we ended up just becoming best friends, and it's just crazy how this world works, honestly, because we literally met on some party shit. And then now we're best friends and hang out every day, so. Did
you click with Lil Peep instantaneously?
Yeah, we did. Just based on like, I don't even know, just the vibe.
Yeah.
It was all there. All the energy was right, you know. So I think that was a big part of the instantaneous click.
And what was the inspiration for the song that you guys had?
The 2 songs.
Yeah.
One's not out yet. It's coming soon, but it was really just natural, honestly. Like, I had made Nightmares originally. He heard it, he loved it, and was like, at first was just hesitant. He was like, I don't even know what I want to do with this. It's so good. It's just you. And then I went back to the house that night after the studio. I recorded Fairy Tale Dreams Nightmares. Went back to the studio, and then he heard it, and he's like, I gotta jump on this right now. Jumped on it then, and then a day after that, he got on Nightmares. So then now, we did both of those in like 2 days. And it was really just because he really fucked with the song, you know? I didn't even know, when we first met, I didn't even know who Lil Peep was. So it wasn't, you know, I was so uneducated to everything he was doing.
How big was he at that point? Because he's also from New York, right?
Yeah, he's from Long Beach. At the point we met, I mean, he had already established, you know, who Lil Peep was, but he definitely wasn't at the global scale, you know, that he is now and was back at like 2 summers ago.
And how big was Makonnen when you met him?
When I first met Makonnen, he was the biggest artist, I swear. Like, that was like Crime, Tuesday, Drake,
oh my gosh,
all that time.
And you just met him going out? And
just met him literally at a club or something, and then we went back to the studio and we were partying and stuff, and I didn't even make music at that time. He was with like Kerwin and Ass Pizza, Jonah and all those people in New York, and yeah.
Did he teach you a lot about music?
Over time.
Yeah.
Also just about the industry. And also just self-awareness, you know?
Yeah.
And like being comfortable with who you are as a person, and knowing that will get you farther than anything, and trying to fake anything and all that stuff. So he's kind of like an older brother in a sense.
Yeah.
Or he just like, he's been through it, you know? He's been doing this, so he's proven, so it's like...
Is he like kind of like your mentor then, or?
Yeah.
Somebody you ask for advice?
Definitely one of a couple. But definitely always going to him for advice and help.
How else would you say your relationship with him has grown over time?
We've just been through it, you know? Like, we've been through some of the best times we've had and some of the worst times, so I think for anyone that just grows people, you know, together, going through difficult stuff.
How about meeting Smoke a Sack?
I first met him, I think, at the Peep show in LA, at like the Echoplex. We met there through Peep. Peep was super particular. He didn't want Smoke a Sack really working with anyone besides him. But he was like, yo, listen, when we met, he's like, Smoke, I want you to do a project with Teddy. So that right off the back was like, I was so hyped on it. And I know Smoke, after the fact, when we actually came to making Castle No Light, the project we did together, he was on some like, the only reason I'm doing this besides me fucking with you, obviously, is because Pete really wanted this, you know? So I think having that in the back of our heads making it was super special. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, not really intimidated, but because you've done music for such a short time compared to the people that you've worked with? Yeah. Was that a thing or not really?
I mean, at first, like those first sessions with Makonnen and Peep, I was definitely, like when I had to go record a verse and in front of everyone, it would go through my mind, you know? Like I was thinking about it too much, but being around people like them, you know, Peep and Makonnen, they're like the most open, like welcoming people ever. So it definitely took what would normally feel like a heart attack into just like a seizure. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. And how did you start like falling in love with the concept of castles and fairy tale stuff?
Oh, that just came naturally.
Was it like any movies you watched or?
No, not even. It was just like, I don't know, a lot of different things that just added up and it just became something that I actually genuinely fell in love with, like castles and all that stuff. Just, you know, just a fairyland where you can put yourself mentally anywhere you want.
And then how did it click to you to make it into, I guess, kind of like a branding now with your hoodie?
It's just like, I mean, it was just like one night we were coming up with something, we wanted to do something, and it just like clicked, Castle Life. And I remember, I think Makonnen said it first, and then it was just like, damn, it sounds pretty good, and it works with everything, so we try to run with it, you know?
And then what clicked to you to put out? I guess it's merch, right? Or clothing line?
Yeah, it just, I mean, growing up, I was so into like all the skate brands, like Crooked, Volcom, you know, surf brands, Quicksilver, Volcom, and all that stuff. So like, me and my friend were just like on some. We just want to be able to like make clothes that we love to wear, you know. So I think that was more part of it. It wasn't really that thought out as much as just something we wanted, and this was a way to do what we want, you know.
Who else would you say have been your fashion inspirations?
Fashion inspirations. Damn, I don't know, a lot of people. I love the way Young Thug dresses.
Oh yeah.
I love Lil Uzi dresses, you know, just like everyone. Peep too, because Peep really didn't care what anyone thought of what he was wearing, you know. So that was another way, just through being around, just building confidence on like, it doesn't matter what you wear, what you do, whatever, it's just as long as you're happy and comfortable, that's all that matters, you know.
And what are the inspirations for your album?
Just me, to be completely honest. I think this is like the first work I've ever been able to put out where it's literally nothing but Teddy, just me.
How about the themes or anything you went through in life particular when you were writing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's music from like the last 2 years. So it's like up and downs and, you know, messed up relationships, families, just like everything went into it. I literally poured my heart into that stuff.
And how did you get so vulnerable, or have you always been so vulnerable with your music?
I think once I figured out that it was kind of like almost an outlet.
Yeah.
I became more comfortable, it just became more naturally comfortable. You know, everything that was coming to my mind happened to be stuff I was going through. So I think, and also just the reactions from like, the, you know, audiences listening. It was just like people are going through stuff all over the world, you know. So if I can make one person feel better about what they're doing, you know, and feel more comfortable and accepted, just knowing that I'm going through the same stuff, or someone else in Russia or Poland is going through the same thing, it's like it's something that brings us all together, you know. So that's definitely super important to me in my music. Yeah. Because like there's no point of me making a song about diamonds and chains and all. It's just like everyone's already doing it, you know. So yeah, I might as well make something real if I'm gonna make anything.
How did you meet Rich the Kid?
Rich the Kid. I met Rich the Kid really randomly at a studio in New York. He's a funny person. Yeah. And
then what clicked you to work with him?
I just played him a song and he was down, and you know, one thing led to another, and just being in the same studio like for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then finally he just came in the room and he was like, "Yo, let me hop on that." So, all right, let's get it.
How about with Fat Nick?
That came just through.
Or how did you meet him?
We met actually at in Long Beach at the Peep Memorial.
Oh, okay.
But we had spoken on FaceTime and stuff through friends before, but that was the first time we met in person. And then he moved out here and we started hanging out all the time, every day, and just making music and stuff. And you know, the same way everything happens in my life, it's all natural.
Yeah. What was it like touring with him though?
It was so fun, to be completely honest. I loved it. It's good people, you know, him and Bexy. Especially going around like everywhere in the US, you know. It was a good time. We had a lot of good memories.
What were the inspirations for your tattoos?
A lot of them was too much alcohol. Because
you had a friend who does it, right?
Yeah, I have like 2 friends, honestly, 3 friends that are all awesome tattoo artists, and they're always just at my house, and we just come up with an idea, and it's just I'm like a canvas at this point. You know, I don't
what do you have?
Honestly, it's more like what don't I have? I have a lot of castle stuff, a lot of castle life stuff, a lot of medieval shit. Just got, you know, a tattoo for my friend Pete, the loved one. Yeah, just got, you know, some, and just a lot of other deeper stuff too, just random stuff, family. Yeah. You know, and I read relationships, names, which, you know, depends who you are, but you know, be careful with that.
Yeah. But you don't want face hats, right?
No. You know, it's not that I don't want them, it's just I haven't gotten to the point in my life where I wanted it, you know? Yeah.
What do your parents think of your music career now, and do they listen to your music?
Yeah, definitely. They're super proud, just knowing that like it really came from just a crazy idea one night, you know? And not even that I've gotten far, but just to be able to go on tour for 2 months and play shows every night and people be singing my music, it's definitely something cool for them to see.
Are you signed with a record label now, or are you?
No, I'm independent.
Is that something that you want to, or you don't really care?
I'm independent for now. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just doing my stuff. I have a lot more before I even want to think about that stuff. So whatever happens, happens. You know, just got to be the right situation.
Yeah. How do you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
Besides my physical stature, growing to become a person that's not 1 foot, I've mentally just matured. I feel like I'm like 100 years old in my mind. Just because I feel like I've been through a lot, as a lot of people have. But yeah, you just grow through experience, you know. So I feel like I've definitely upgraded the mind and the brain. Definitely.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far in life?
Probably the balance between, like, I mean, I don't want to say work and like life, but it's all one at this point, you know. But just sometimes having to just step away and just realize maybe I need to give myself a day to just not do anything, you know, not push so hard. Yeah.
What would you say love means to you?
Love?
Yeah.
It means love. It means there's love everywhere. You know? It's not that much deeper than what it is, in my mind at least.
Last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for making people happy, you know, and just helping out someone, whoever it is, just making someone feel better about what they're going through.
Yeah.
And if I can accomplish that, then I'm good. I could die right near happy. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. You're the best.
Aww.
Album April 26th.